Hello, 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 everybody, everybody. What's cracking? What's up? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Guys, people of the sea, people of everywhere. Encourage yourself to do better. Guys, this is just kind of like a video to listen me out, hear me out and just hear me talk about, encouraging yourself, guys. I know I've made so many videos. By the way, guys, I am getting a lot better with my voice. It's slowly but surely coming back. But I touch base on this subject all the time, every season, guys. Every season, I touch base up on encouraging yourself, self motivation, just all that and some change. Like, literally. I'm always saying that constantly, like a repeated record. And I feel like people still need to hear it. And it makes me so happy to see someone encouraging themselves to do better. And nothing, like, hands down, guys, if you're working on yourself and you're self encouraging yourself to do better and you're motivating yourself, that is so attractive in my eyes. Like, you have no ideas, literally, no ideas. I'm gonna be drinking tea right now. Yeah, hot tea right now. I got some hot tea. Also, guys, the sun hasn't set it yet. It's still out and about. But I'm drinking hot tea for my voice. But okay. Hello, welcome in. Encouraging yourself to do better is very, very key. Whenever you do that, not only are you affecting yourself, you're affecting others around you. So other people see your growth, your development. And I've mentioned again a while back about growth and development. And oh, there's a big cloud covering. Like, it was just sunny right now, and then the cloud just covered it, the sun. But I can literally sit here all day and tell you about self encouraging yourself, self motivation. And you don't want to know how I got this topic? It's crazy. Really crazy. This topic came across my mind because I know a homie. What is going on? My notifications are crazy. I know a homie that I've been knowing for, I don't know, probably, I don't really know him, not quite just yet, but I've known him for quite some years. It's on there, but we never really got to talking, like actually talking. And this guy, I could say that I see a lot of struggles in him. And, like, hopefully he doesn't come across this video because it will be odd and awkward to be like, "You talking about me?" As a matter of fact, yes, I am. But no, this is, like I said, I have made videos like this in the past about, if I'm around you and we have a talk, we all of a sudden talk about a certain subject or something happens in that person's life. That's how I make my content. Like, I make my content as I'm in life. That's how I make my content. Like, whatever happens. So this is what happened. I saw and I witnessed a lot of struggles that he had. I witnessed him like battling himself and just being like, I'm not quite like, I can't put my finger on it, but I can say that he is a party animal. He loves to go out on different types of dates, and you know, I went to his house a couple of times and I noticed something about him that I didn't know too much about him, so I'm just kind of slowly, gradually, kind of like getting to know him. I noticed that he has goals and achievements, and I had literally mentioned these all these little topics in my live streams. But goals and achievements, guys, you already know how I feel. If you're true OGs over here, you already know about how I feel about goals and achievements. And when I seen that, I was like, that's, that's a turn on. Like, it was a turn on. Like, whoa. And that's what I want to see in more people, regardless if you're a man, you're a woman, you're something else. I want to see that. Like, that's just so attractive in my eyes. So I saw who he was, but it didn't really, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I can't put a little pin on it. But what I do know is that just recently in 2026, he had a mindset of doing different activities such as like traveling a little bit more, saving money, a little bit more money to get more of his business. And I gotta say, I didn't think I was gonna see a change in a person like that in a long time. Like, I I I don't know, because it's very rare to find someone that is self-encouraging themselves and making a goal in life to achieve that and writing it down. A lot of people write down their achievements. Let's say you want to have a new one of these new cars, or just like, you got to start with the little basics, kind of manifest it. And I've mentioned this in my last season of season 5 about manifestation. And manifestation, guys, can be real if you let it happen. So it all kind of ties around to encouraging yourself. If you can encourage yourself with just the bare minimum, like, I want a new console, like, I want a new car, or like, I want a bicycle or motorcycle. It's something like that. Encouraging yourself to do it better is key. I don't know if that makes any sense, but when I saw him, oh, there's some my neighbor. When I saw him the other day, well, not the other day, but a couple of days ago, he was different and more open and more, I don't know, it just felt weird. So he has a bad habit of doing the sniffs. Anybody knows my channel, whenever I say different terminologies, it's like a bad habit, a bad drug habit. So he does sniffs, and I've seen that in him, where he struggles to, like, I mean, again, it's hard to pin a dang picture on it, but I saw him actually sober for the first time through the time that I have met him. And of course, we drunk that day, but the fact that it was just such of a turn on, where he's all like, I want to give up the sniffs. I want to stop partying all the time. I want to save money, not go out, not go crazy, go to after hour parties. Like, and I'm like, what? What? Who's this? Who's this person that I'm seeing? And that's what I'm saying. Encourage yourself to do better, and you will do it. So that's what made me think about this topic. Because of that, when someone is working on themselves, it could be a struggle big time. It is a struggle, guys. When you're trying to work on yourself, such as, you know, using the W or doing the sniffs or even alcohol. Alcohol I could say on the internet, but it's all like a lot of people try to stop alcohol, try to stop smoking, and they're like, oh, it's a bad habit. And all these bad habits, they come with consequences. All these bad habits, guys. Drinking, um, doing the sniffs, smoking the W, and just doing all kind of different type of bad habits. They're all going to come with consequences. We may not even notice it, but our mood will change. Our mood, our chemistry, our imbalancement. Whenever that happens, people need to step back and realize if you encourage yourself to do better and encourage yourself to, like I said, nicotine is very hard to get rid of, and I understand that. I've seen people struggle all the time to quit smoking. They want to quit smoking, but then they can't because they relapse. And that's another thing too, relapse. Mm. Some people can say, I'm going to do better and encourage themselves to do better, and then all of a sudden relapse. They're back in that same position. That's something horrible to watch and horrible to see, but it's not going to happen overnight. You can encourage yourself to do better, yes. However, that feeling that, I want to keep doing the sniffs, or I want to go out partying, you want to do that time of share. Hello, welcome in. You want to do that type of share in your life. I have been there, guys. I have been there. When I just got out of my relationship, I was in that mood. I don't know. I don't even remember if it was the last episode that I did, but like different types of single people, and I was that type of person where it was like a woohoo, I'm free, yeah, that type, and I wanted to just let loose, live my life. So that's what I did. I went out every freaking day. I partied. I went, bar hopping, and I went to different events such as drifting and then like different car meets, different things. Like I explored and I went crazy. And of course I met a couple of people on the way that hurt me and whatnot, but at the same time I was building myself. I was trying to hold on. I was trying to find myself. Not just, I don't know, hold on, give me some. Oh, I'm gonna cut my throat. But not in a bad way. I did it in a good way. When I was finding myself, I felt like I just needed to explore. I needed to find my own self and explore, go out, have fun, do all the crazy stuff. And then I simmer down. It takes time, but sometimes you just gotta simmer down sometimes. And I'm not saying that I'm so chill and simmer down. No, I still go out and party, but not as much as I did when I was 7 years ago, maybe 7, 8 years ago. Man, and it's all like Encourage yourself to do better, and it will happen. Manifest it, and it will happen. Manifestation, guys, I'm going to keep saying it like a broken record. It is real. You can write it down. Take a note. Some people even write down how they can do better each day. And they'll literally sit there like, you know, how in The Simpsons you see Bart over here scribbling on the, like when he gets in trouble, he'll scribble on the board like, I did this, so I'm not gonna do this anymore, blah blah blah. Like he, if you know, Bart Simpson. But it's all like, you can do better. You can. And people that are struggling with relationships, encourage yourself to do better. Now, I want to make this 31-minute video, but sometimes I feel like I need to vent out. And if you can hear me out and understand. But relationships, guys, too, y'all can do better. Encourage yourself to do better. If somebody's telling you that's not a great person to be at, hold on, give me a second. Let's just say if it was an abusive relationship, if someone is encouraging you to get out of that and they're saying that's not how love works, that's not how love is, some people do not see that, and it's very frightening when people are in these toxic relationships and they don't self-encourage themselves to do better and to be like, if this person, the person's bringing me down. They don't encourage themselves to do better because they're in that loop where it's all like, I don't know, I think they love me. They do this because they love me. No. Being in an abusive relationship or in a toxic relationship, no. And that's why I always tell everybody that's struggling in a relationship, you can do better. Just get out. Find yourself. Get out, find yourself, figure it out. If you come crawling back to that person again, something you might need. I'm not saying get yourself checked in your head, but you might need to figure that out for yourself and tell yourself and encourage yourself you can do better. Stop being in this toxic relationship. It's hard. I know. I was in one too. And it's all like the moral. Well, I can't say the moral because I'm ruining here, but they say that to last. But the way I see it is, it takes time, yes, but at the same time, you are your only motivator in life. Your parents can motivate you. It makes sense, parents, significant others, can encourage yourself. Like they say, going back to school, you want to go back to school. They're trying to be like, hey, you should go back to school. You like doing this, you like doing that, like whatever their hobby or whatever it is. And you can succeed by other people's opinions. Don't get me wrong, guys, because whenever it comes down, I actually make a separate video about this, because you know how when people get in this rumble of a little emotion, they're like, oh, don't care what other people think, right? I have a lot of mixed emotions about that. So I'm not sure. I might make another video about it, but I'm just gonna sum it up right here. So should you care what other people think, or should you care about what other people think? Is the question. Let that sink in. Whenever I hear that phrase, it all depends on the scenario. It all depends on who's saying it. But yeah, I feel like I need to leave that for another day. I'll probably make a whole video about that, guys. Cause those are strong Strong words, basically. So, just a little hint. If someone's telling you to get out of a toxic relationship, are you going to listen to them or you're going to ignore them? Majority of people were going to ignore them and be like, no, this is my heart, this is who I love, this is my person. So if that person can self-encourage themselves, perfectly fine. You're on the right path. But if they can't, oof, someone needs some more talking. Maybe they should hear my live streams a little bit more. But it's very attractive in my eyes when I find someone that can self-encourage themselves to do better in life. Because you can. Again, you can. I've seen so many people relapse and then they go back to that they told themselves that they weren't going to do. But if you keep that encouragement, you keep that growth, you keep that development, you're going to get there. And I want to tell you one thing that I do know. I kind of should have said it on my single video about single people. But single people that haven't been in a relationship in a long time could do more self-encouragement because now they're out of a relationship. They don't have that other link. So now they're doing better for themselves. That's why I feel like sometimes, guys, yeah, being in a relationship is fun. It has its own ways. You have your partner and stuff, but once that partner no longer loves you, or you don't feel the same way with that partner, it's gonna be hard on your behalf to self-encourage yourself to do better in life because of that history. When I talk to a single person that's been single for a long time, all they're doing is self-encouraging themselves to do better, get a better job, get a vehicle, work for themselves, and that's facts. That's all there. And then here's one thing, guys, that kind of ticks me off sometimes. I said this a long time ago. I got a lot of hate for it, but that's why I'm kind of saving it for the last. Whenever, oh, this is a big one right here. Whenever I see people on the street holding signs saying I'm hungry, holding signs saying I need money, holding signs in general saying Bible verses and stuff, it breaks my heart in a way. I'm not talking about I'm feeling sorry for them, because that kind of sounds like it. But I'm saying is like, how come they can't put two and two together and encourage themselves to do better in life? Why are you out in the street asking for money? Is my question. That's how sad I get, because it's like, you're a body that can do something. If they had encouragement from someone, they can do better in life. Much better. You don't need to be living under a bridge. You don't need to be. This is where, like I said, it gets really hard to be open-minded, guys, when you come to my channel. But they don't have any self-encouragement, and it ticks me off. It freaking ticks me off. Ugh. And I said it a long time ago about homeless people. It's hands down for me when I see a homeless person. I don't feel sorry for them at all. They're in that position for a reason, because they could not encourage themselves to do better. Again, hear me out. If they had motivation in their brain, it would be there. I understand some homeless people are not that bad. They're doing it because they don't want to live by the rules. They don't want to pay taxes. They don't want to drive. They don't want to go to work at all. Just want to sit there being a bum. Why don't they have encouragement to do better is the question that I've been asking myself all these years. Uh, but those people, I can't. I can't. You're going out in the street. You have your kids on your hands asking for money. You can do better. They can do better in life if they put their mind to it. Why are you asking strangers for money? Try to figure out if you can find a source where people can help you. There's so much help that people can get, not only from the government, but from other sources such as churches, charities. Like, there's so much. And when you encourage yourself to do better, that's where I start liking you a lot more. If you're motivating yourself to do better in life, and you're motivating not just yourself but others, such as me, like I motivate anybody that crosses, literally anybody that crosses my path, I motivate them to the max. If they take my advice, they take it. And again, this is where it comes mixed emotions, what I just said earlier about, you know, who cares what other people think. So it's all like, again, if you hang around with a crowd, you start participating in that crowd. You know what? Actually, I kind of want to save this for another video, but since I'm here now and I just said crowd, about like maybe three or 4 days ago, something of that nature, there was a 13-year-old got unalived by another 13-year-old or 10-year-old. And they were fighting. When I saw that on the internet, there's a video of it, how they were fighting. All I can think about is why are they hanging around with those type of people? Well, kids, that group. You surround yourself in that group, you're not going to go anywhere. If you surround yourself in a slang gang group, you're not going anywhere. You're just going to stay in that same loop. If you surround yourself with smart people, intelligent people, people that are inspiring, that's what you're going to go a little bit further in life. Because you're not really going to get far other than get unalived if you're in that crowd that is nothing but trouble. They want to cause trouble. They want to fight every day. They want to, K people. So it's all like, I know they're young, so they don't have really too much self-encouragement because they're in school. Their parents are paying for all the bills and all their food that they're eating. But it's the fact that the crowd that you hang around with. I don't hang around with any crowd, like at all. I'm a lone wolf. So when I see people hanging around with different types of crowds, I want to know why, how you know that person. And it just, I feel like it's a subject for another day, but I just wanted to say that really quick. Hello, welcome in. I don't know, guys. Sometimes I wonder about people on their well-being. I understand that, we can't all be healthy, but we need to feed our brain and our mind to do that. Encouraging yourself, such as eating the right foods. You can eat the right foods, guys. You want to know something crazy about our bodies? Our bodies, this should be a separate video, but I'm saying it here now. Our bodies have a lot of chemistry in them. Whenever we take substances, all of it's going to come with some side effects. And those side effects, you may not like it, such as being lazy, not encouraging yourself to do better in life. And it's all like, it pinpoints me to my homie where he's doing this substance. And when he was under that substance, he couldn't do nothing. He didn't even know he was alive. He didn't even, he's like, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, because of the lifestyle that he wanted to do was that. And he finally, saw himself, painted a picture of himself and said, hey man, I'm not even focusing on the day. The days are going like this, the days going by like this, because they're under that substance where you basically don't feel the days. If you know what substance I'm talking about the sniffs. But again, it all comes down to encouraging yourself to do better in life. I can only cross so many people's the paths in their lives, and encounter them. But there has to be more of me to encourage them, encourage somebody. I encourage myself. So you can't put the blame like, oh, well, you need to help yourself too. I already did. Now I'm ready to help others. Now I'm willing to help others. Literally. Help others with their struggles. Help others overcome that scared feeling that you can't do it, because you can. You can. If I can, you can. If I can do these things, you can too. Period, hands down. But there's nothing more attractive than finding yourself. There's nothing more attractive than, being independent and encouraging yourself to do better. There's nothing more attractive in my eyes than it makes me appreciate the person that I am today. Literally. Because it's like, that's a key in my heart. Literally. And if I see it and I witness it, it's like a turn on. Like literally a turn on. But yeah, guys, the sun has set it. Yeah, the sun has set it. I rambled on too much, too long here. But I just feel like I need to say those things out here, just in case anybody comes up on my channel and I reference this to them, because life is a structure. We need to figure it out. It's not all just about paying bills. Life is all about finding yourself and finding who you are as a person. That's just facts. And each individual needs to encourage themselves to do better. And sometimes, when you have a family, it might feel so much mixed emotions. If you have kids and a husband or a wife or anything of that nature, because now you're connected the dots with other resources. But I think I touched on that subject a long time ago about that. It was probably like the third season. But yeah, so I'm rambling on, but I feel like there's more to say. Because literally, I feel like there's more to say, man. And so I don't have any drink with me, but cheers to my homie, my little cup. Cheers to my homie for encouraging himself to do better in life. And that's what I want to see, is progress. I'm going to see the downfalls, of course. It's not going to happen every day. Well, not every day, but every Well, let's just say it's not gonna happen overnight. You could say every day, every night, or whatever. But guys, I promise you, you'll be on the right path if you just encourage yourself to do better. Encourage yourself to figure it out. Manifest it, guys. Manifest it. Manifestation is real, guys. Just do it. You can do it. You literally can do it. But yeah, I said a lot. I said a lot, guys. Oh, and I've taught. I was gonna make a live stream yesterday, but I had to work in the morning, so that's why I made it now because I got off early. But other than that, guys, I might make a part 2 of this about encouraging yourself. I have so many videos on self motivation, encouraging yourself to do, just encouraging yourself videos, literally. And those are the topics that I feel connected to, because you may not be in the live stream right now, but if you hear the video in the future, also let me know what you think about what I said about all these aspects. And again, be open-minded when coming to my channel and hear me out, I'm just a person on the internet that's just trying their hardest just to get it out there. Because you don't see too many people that encourage other people. And I'm not talking about working out or religious or anything like that. I'm talking about where to start and how to start. You can do it, guys. You can do it. Encourage yourself to do better, guys, in life. We only live this universe once, guys. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.